UndergroundHipHopBlog.com exclusive.
What up, what up? This is Pawz One repping UndergroundHipHopBlog.com. We're on location in the beautiful Venice Beach, California. I'm here with my man Sellassie. What's going on, Sellassie? You just scored that win, right?
Yeah, we just had a nice little win out there at Venice Beach. You know, I love coming out here to play basketball when I come to LA. You know, this is one of my favorite spots. You know.
'Cause you're originally from the Bay, is that right?
Yeah, I'm from San Francisco, California, you know, but still California, you know, so we still repping the West Side.
You've been able to establish something that's traveled throughout the country, and it's exposed a lot of artists in different areas that otherwise wouldn't get exposure. Talking about the 2 Racks competition. So I wanted to touch bases on that. If you want to tell me how the idea, like where it originated from.
Cool. Appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, 2 Racks, I created it, you know, from the idea of just trying to give independent artists an opportunity to showcase their talent without insulting each other and without battle rapping and without, you know, talking about each other's mama and all that, you know. I used to see those battles and stuff, and they never really appealed to me, and then I found out a lot of the times they would write those rhymes and they would, like, prepare, you know, yeah, mean raps and stuff. So this came out of the idea of that artists, you know, all are good. That's my intention, to expose some of the artists, even the ones that you may think are bad. But most of them I think are good, and they have a place in the game. And I feel it's better for us to be together than to not be together. And so it originated all from frustration in the hip-hop game, for me not to get out there and for other artists not to really get out there.
And you've managed to do this like throughout the country, so that's the beautiful thing. Going from the battle rap thing you mentioned, like a lot of times I think people get drawn into that. I mean, battle rapping is definitely essential. It's been a part of hip hop since day one. But you know, they kind of pit people against each other and try to make it seem like that's the only way you can actually compete. When in reality, there's so many different ways. You can do like different contests, things like that. Actually showcasing your ability as opposed to, you know, just writing some disses and, you know, researching somebody's baby's mom and so on and so forth. So I think it's so I think it's a beautiful thing that you've actually been able to maintain the competition, the competitive aspect of hip hop, but still been able to showcase and keep it fun, keep it competitive, and also give people opportunity to make some kind of money. So you've named it 2 Racks for the reason, you know, let these people know what the whole motive behind that is.
Yeah. We call it 2 Racks because I give away $2,000 to the winner of the competition. So basically, you can do less than 10 minutes of music, 5 rounds, and win $2,000. You know, we actually pay more money to artists, more money than they've ever been paid. You know, we have artists like, you know, this is the most I've ever gotten paid, you know, $2,000. But, you know, we're very proud that we've given away up to $60,000. We just did LA last night, and that was our 31st show. So we've given $62,000 away so far into independent hip hop. And it's really not about the money. That's just like the prize if you win, you know, for you to be involved with it. And yeah, we try not to make that the motive. It's really about that 1 minute and 30 seconds that people are looking at you. In this industry of 3 seconds and 5 seconds, you know, people check you out, but they actually can look at you for 1 minute and 30 seconds. And a lot of the times they get fans, new fans. Like last night was a prime example when Miss Bella, you know, really liked the cats from J.P. Morgan, you know, like, and she would have never liked them and would have never tripped on them if she didn't listen to them and check them out. So that's where it comes from, that good intention of trying to get other people seen and heard. You know what I mean? And then they'll see and hear me. Most of the time, I don't even rap at the shows. It's more for the artist. I try to do something at the beginning, but sometimes I don't, you know.
Depends on when you're feeling it. Yeah. So you know how difficult it is. You were speaking on the 3 seconds that you have, like that real small window. Some people don't even give you that window. You know what I mean? So being an artist yourself, you know how critical it is. I wanted to talk to you about the single that you have out right now.
Yeah. Stop Hating in the Bay is a real cool single. It's really just telling artists to like listen to each other and to support each other's music and to don't talk about it if you haven't listened to it. For me, dealing with thousands of artists, I've noticed that they don't even listen to each other. You know what I'm saying? I've bought Ice Cube, you know, Big Daddy Kane, Public Enemy, Too Short, you know, Freestyle Fellowship hundreds of times. You know what I mean? And that point is I've listened to them. I've given them my business, and they couldn't have been what they are if we didn't do that. So we have to continue to do that in this day and age of where it's just everybody rapping. Okay, that's cool. And there's a place for that. And you don't have to like everything, but you can take some time out to listen to somebody else. And I think if you genuinely do that, they genuinely listen to you. Because I'm in the business of that, and I know thousands of artists, and I listen to them. I might not be their biggest fan. I might not be a part of their fan base. I might not be, sorry about that. Yeah. I might not be a part of their movement, but I can say, yeah, I like that. And I'll retweet it and say, hey, y'all should check this out. It ain't my speed, but it's cool. And I think if we did more of that, we would be more successful as opposed to the crab in the bucket. So that's kind of like what the song's talking about, because every artist I meet, they don't really listen to each other. And then they'll depend on a blog or what somebody else says about it without really listening to it. Real quick story. Back in 97, 95, when the Hot Boys was out, my cousin had it because he was in Atlanta first. And he brought it to the city. We hated on that to the death. You know what I'm saying? It was like, this is nothing. This sucks and sucks. Never even listened to it. My cousin said, man, why you hating on this, bro? And he really checked me, my cousin, where I really respect what he talking about. You didn't even listen to this. And I actually liked it. But I was hating on them because maybe I wasn't where I wanted to be in the game, and I learned that early. And so I see that with the artists today, that they can be cleansed if they let that go. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of it comes from the ego. You know what I mean? Every artist in hip hop, whether it's a producer, whether it's a DJ, whatever it is, the b-boy, graph writer, there's a little ego that we all have. It comes from like confidence and competition and things like that. But sometimes it boils over to where like people feel like the ego is what's gonna get them in the game. If my head is this big, people will recognize a giant head walking into the room, and then I'm good, I'm straight, no talent whatsoever. But I wanted to talk to you about the single, going back to that, and the whole hating aspect. Is that off an album?
Yeah, really. On my first record, my latest record, Sins of Your Forefathers, I did a version. But then I said, well, I need to do another version. So it's a remix by Trax a Million, a pretty cool producer out of the Bay Area. And he did it. So I really went to him, and I kept the lyrics my style, where I didn't go outside on my lyrics. It's really very Sellassie, but a really cool beat. To where the radio and the DJs will play it, and so that's really been big because the beat's cool. So I could be in a club and they play it, they don't know nothing else but to stop hating in the Bay, and they hear the beat. So that's kind of where the game's at too. So once you actually listen to it, you might dig it. So it's really doing well. I've sold thousands of downloads. I just give them away for free, and by that process, it's being really heard. I guess because it's free, not even because it's good, because it's free. No, but you make it free. But all artists making stuff free, man. That's my opinion. I just give my music away, and then people will listen to it. Then they actually might like you.
I think a lot of people right away try to put a price tag on it, like, I'm gonna make millions of dollars off my single or whatever. You definitely got to give stuff away in this age, because a lot of stuff is digital. So there's a lot of people out there that are like, okay, well, you know what? I'll put out a mixtape for free, but I got to pay my engineer, and I got to pay, the guy that did the artwork and for the mastering. So, I'll make my album $5. Let's be fair with each other. But I wanted to talk to you about the name. The name is very powerful. For the people that don't know, I'm familiar, but I wanted you to break it down for those that are unfamiliar.
Yeah, well, Sellassie is an Ethiopian emperor from Africa. I wasn't named after. Well, I was named after Sellassie, but it's really just an African, king. So it's not like I'm following in the ways of Sellassie. My mother called me Sellassie, little Sellassie, as a little child. because I was very Afrocentric, was really into Africa, and was really into, our people, the motherland, and I use that in my music. So. It fits me well, I don't try to abuse it. You ask the Eritreans about Sellassie, they have their version. You ask the Ethiopian about Sellassie, so he can be revered and he can be loved. So, and that's kind of like me. You either like me or you don't. But this is a crazy industry, man, and a lot of the times cats don't know the business with this stuff, man. They come in the game. It's like the streets. They just could come into the game, and the cat will get in the streets. He'll get killed if he don't know what's going on in the streets. And it's really the same thing in hip hop. A lot of cats get in the game and they get discouraged because they don't know the business, But I don't be perpetrating, and that's why it's a good thing, because I'm just giving what I'm trying to get in the game. Trying to be the change I want to be, and it's working out.
And I think that's what the blog does too. They expose underground hip hop blog. We expose a lot of that, is like the business aspect. We don't want to just interview the rapper that's hot right now that you saw on MTV or what have you, double XL cover. We want to get people that can teach you something about your business being an independent artist. So if you want to plug these people with your links, the videos, the single, all that stuff, let them know.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Shouts out to the Underground Hip Hop blog, man. These brothers is putting it on. This is the future of hip hop. Us 50 million, 500 million artists. If you can open your mind to that, that is what this new game is about. So, don't be in the box of the 10, 15 artists. You can if you want to, but to me, the new age and the new day is this 50 million, 500 million artists all over the world that are actually good if they get a shot to be listened to. So you can go to SellassieFrisco.com. That's SELLASSIE Frisco, FRISCO.com. And at Twitter, at Sellassie. I be on Twitter talking to people. So, keep independent hip-hop alive. Shouts out to you, Pawz. Pawz One. Nice to meet you. Thank you for the work that you do. And Venice Beach is beautiful,
So you're going to jump back into another game? Whoop some ass?
I think so, Hey, I got a good record at Venice Beach, but I just won a cold game. That young brother was talking over there. I don't know if y'all heard it, but he hot I won, so I might not go play. He might want to fight. I am in L.A., So
It's Pawz One repping undergroundhiphopblog.com here with Sellassie. 2 Racks competition. Stop hating in the Bay.
Please, and stop hating in L.A.
Stop hating worldwide.
Undergroundhiphopblog.com exclusive.